Good evening and welcome to our Celebrate SPS virtual event. I'm Natalie Murdoch. While this is not the way we originally planned to celebrate our teachers, our staff, and our district, we're glad that you're here joining us as we kick off the entire week of celebrations. Traditionally, the Foundation for Springfield Public Schools hosts our annual banquet in April. We have over 800 people, SPS staff members, community members, and supporters that gather to honor and recognize all of the folks who work to make public education in Springfield great. The Foundation for SPS has a 30-year history of providing support for students of Springfield Public Schools. Last year alone, we awarded nearly $1 million to support students in classrooms. We are home to over 100 different permanent and temporary funds totaling over $5 million that provide long-term and immediate support for our students. But we couldn't do that without the financial support of our community. We also could not do that without a hardworking staff and volunteers. We have a 21-person volunteer board of directors who are deeply committed to our schools. I also want to give a special thank you to our foundation staff, Tina Pham and Elise Hall, and our Celebrate SPS committee who worked hard to bring this event together, including an amazing digital silent auction that started this morning and will continue through the evening. Amy Bunselmeyer, Susan McNeil, Janelle Manley, Lori Nelson, Danielle Kincaid, Crystal Sharp, and Kim Horton make up that committee. And thank you to Dan McDonald and Sean Wright, video producers for Springfield Public Schools, for making this event possible. And thanks to all of you for watching tonight. Whether you are a teacher, a support staff, administrator, or one of our amazing community partners, we're so grateful for what you do. And now I'm excited to introduce our MC and host for the night. Jeff Houghton, the original Instagram husband, is the host and creator of the Mystery Hour, a 4-time Emmy Award-winning show. The Mystery Hour is in its 9th season and continues to go strong today, broadcasting in 17 markets across the country. But tonight, he's joining us to celebrate SPS. Let's welcome Jeff Houghton.
Hey, welcome to the Celebrate SPS. We're here at the Oasis Convention Center in April. No. A virus? What day is it? I'm told several months have passed. But we are still here to celebrate teachers. You may not know this, but I've substitute taught 2 different eras of my life in Springfield. So I consider you guys colleagues because I know how to press play on a DVD player. We have a fun event in store for you tonight, but none of it would be possible without the Foundation's Celebrate SPS sponsors. We want to give a special shout out to Teacher of the Year sponsor, Missouri State University. Thank you guys, that was nice, thank you. Media sponsor, 417 Magazine, yeah, that's great. Gold sponsors, Commerce Bank, Johnstone Supply, Mercy, Mark and Lori Nelson. You can just do it as a regular, a couple. Penmex Staffing Services, TLC Properties, UMB Bank. And our silver sponsors, Buxton Cubic Dodd, Cash Family Orthodontics, he did my teeth. Central Bank of the Ozarks, Maddox New Prater Eye Center, Jay and Kathy McIntyre, MedPay, Rick's Automotive, SMC Packaging, SRC Holdings. Bronze sponsors, Community Blood Center of the Ozarks, I used to work there. Drury University, my wife went there. Evangel University, my sister-in-law went there. Foundation Credit Union, Gail and Denise Frederick, Great Southern Bank, Hy-Vee, MSU, Jordan Valley Innovation Center, Paragon Architecture, Roberts McKenzie, Mangan and Cummings, Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce, Star Wholesale, Tal and Rosalie O'Reilly Wooten family. And to all of the businesses and individuals that donated to the virtual silent auction, thank you. If you want to be on that list, you can. Just send somebody something. They'll talk. They'll reach out. All right, we are very excited to celebrate you guys tonight. If anyone, particularly parents of SPS kids, took you guys for granted after the spring, we no longer do, because we don't know how to do what you do at all. I couldn't just press the DVD player. You guys make me nervous. All right, let's get started. Teleprompter man. Oh, thank you. One of the ways the Springfield Public Schools recognizes excellence in teaching is through its annual Teacher of the Year award. The Springfield Public Schools Teacher of the Year is selected every April. In April of 2019, Hillcrest teacher Courtney Dameron was selected. Courtney would have been the keynote speaker at the Foundation's regularly scheduled event. We are happy to hear from Courtney tonight. But before we do, let's get to know a little more about her.
In SPS, the Teacher of the Year award is the highest honor you can receive. Courtney epitomizes a model teacher for SPS.
Sum Courtney up in one word, the word would be champion. Courtney is a champion for kids. She is a champion for our staff and our teachers. She's a champion for the Northside community.
Always smiling, always cheerful, always excited to come to work. And I think that the students sense that. I think that her colleagues sense that. And she just brings a positive energy, wanting what's best for just this school and for the students and the staff. And just that energy I think that she brings is super contagious.
Mrs. Dameron, Courtney, was actually my early childhood education teacher. I took only one class with her, and it was actually my senior year, and I wish I would have taken some of her classes earlier. It was just a really great environment. It was, kind of a place where you felt safe and where you felt like at home.
Kids seek her out when they're happy or when they're sad, and it's caring. She listens to the kids one-on-one. She cares about them. She actively problem solves to help them in their personal lives as well as their academics. She has a heart for these kids that's unlike anything I've ever encountered, and she deserves this because she does the work. She does the work.
She wants to see North Springfield thrive. And really, that's what I feel like really transcends Courtney to me. She is just one of those people that has a bigger vision of what she wants to see in an impact.
I'm just so proud of my wife for winning this award. It doesn't surprise me at all. We often attend the banquet, and I remember the year previous that I whispered to her, "You're gonna win that award someday." And she loves kids. She's truly passionate about it. I mean, it's not fake for her. It's not a show. It's not a fake smile. It's super genuine. And so for me to see her get that recognition and for that spotlight to go on Hillcrest, which is important to us because that's a part of our community. It's where our kids are going to go to school. We love the school. We love the students. We love all the kids in Springfield. But that to me was the biggest thing is to see that recognition brought to her for the hard work that she does. And I'm thankful for all the teachers everywhere. But it was super special for me to see my wife receive that recognition.
Whenever we see students excel and leave and begin their professional careers and then devote themselves to this and succeed at the highest level, it's a great kind of badge of honor. Courtney, congratulations. I know you got a start at OTC and then came to Missouri State to finish your credential, and they're proud of you. I'm proud of you. The university's proud of you. Congratulations on a job well done.
Courtney, you're an amazing representation of what it takes to be a professional educator in Springfield Public Schools. I want to thank you for your efforts to support our kids and all you've done to carry the message forward for the last year.
Courtney, I just want you to know how absolutely proud I am and honored I am to work with you in serving the Northside community and the Hillcrest High School students. Thank you for all you do, and congratulations and job well done as Teacher of the Year.
Hey kid, I love you. I think you're awesome. Nobody deserves it more than you. And I just want to thank you for being my friend, being a friend to the kids, and being the person that you are. Big heart and all. Love you. Congratulations.
Hi Mom, I love you, and I'm so glad that you won the Teacher of the Year award. I think you really deserved it.
Hey Mom, we love you for all you do. Congratulations on winning Teacher of the Year. You really deserved it.
Hello, Springfield Public Schools. As we begin this 2020 school year, I find myself needing a bit of encouragement in the new challenges we are facing. So I would just like to speak a few truths into my own heart the next few minutes and hopefully speak some truths into yours. There are so many unknown things that are out of our control this school year, but there are so many pieces of this that have not changed. What will not change in our buildings and in our classrooms is the amount of love and connections that we can build with each student every day. With limited amounts of face-to-face interaction, this will be even more important than usual. Let's be sure that the days that we do get to be in person with our kiddos, that we are laughing, that we are playing, that we are building bonds that show them how much they are truly loved, that we see them. Let's start out by focusing on their social emotional needs before we try to assess them. Let's learn their faces, their laugh, their stories, and their shared struggles. Try to understand their experiences that they're bringing with them before we rush into content. The foundation of our classrooms being built upon relationships is something we can still control and work hard to achieve. It will be essential to a successful school year. It's also important to take care of ourselves. If we want to make the biggest impact in our classrooms, we have to go home and love our families and practice self-care. Being our best selves by putting our mental and physical health as a priority will transfer to when we are in front of the class. We can't stay up all night worrying about that lesson or tweaking at our desks until dark. Take time for yourself and step away. A stressed teacher is not their best self, but a teacher who works at finding the balance and integration of work and home is happier and at rest wearing both hats. Another truth I need to hear: we can do this. We will be good at this, and we are going to have an unusual yet memorable school year. There will be bumps in the road, and we will have to work it out. But that's what we do as teachers. We're amazing problem solvers and collaborators. We're extremely creative, passionate about what we do, and always find a way to get the job done. We will look back on this year as the incredible challenge it was, probably the hardest in our professional careers, but we will also look back on it with pride of how we overcame the challenges, how we managed to find the innovative ways to teach and care for kids together. I have already witnessed countless teachers, staff members, administration, nurses, secretaries, and paraprofessionals step up in ways that are above and beyond what we have been called to do in order to keep students safe and get them what they need. Together, we can create positive, constructive environments to foster learning and relationships. No matter what is going on outside these walls, we can control the climate of what is happening in our buildings. Let's be a positive force in their ears and in their hearts. Work together with our colleagues to create these spaces and find solutions. Don't try to do this alone. Each one of us is a piece in this puzzle, and we are going to do our very best to meet the needs of our students. So let's start this year and love on these kids, take care of ourselves, and lean on each other. Have a great year, SPS.
Wow, thank you, Courtney Dameron, for representing Hillcrest High School and Springfield Public Schools so well. Earlier this year, the FSPS recognized 2 outstanding librarians and 5 outstanding reading teachers. The FSPS manages over 100 different funds, 2 of which provide the support for these 2 awards: the Linda Luke Librarian of the Year and the Turner Awards for Excellence in Teacher Reading. The Linda Luke Librarian of the Year is awarded in memory of the late Linda Luke, a longtime librarian in Springfield Public Schools. Through a permanent endowment fund established by Linda's family and friends, librarians are recognized each year. This year, the Linda Luke Librarian was awarded to Glendale High School librarians Nicole Bueno and Samantha Donnelly. Nicole and Samantha are the librarian duo at Glendale High School. Together, they advocate for literacy, champion for all learning, and serve as role models for their students. They exemplify what it means to lead learners, librarians, and media specialists. Congratulations to Nicole and Samantha. The Turner Awards for Excellence in Teacher Reading is a temporary fund established by the Bill and Ann Turner family of Springfield to honor and recognize 5 teachers each year who have gone above and beyond to instill a love of reading in their students. The 2020 Turner Reading Award recipients are Michelle Conroy at Wanda Gray Elementary and Brianne Darnell at Truman Elementary and Hannah Dunville at Portland Elementary, also Lauren Norris at Westport K-8, Lori Willard at Holland Elementary. Each of these 5 teachers have encouraged students in unique ways to become lifelong readers. Not only do they inspire their students, but also fellow teachers and staff members at their schools. Congratulations to these 5 outstanding teachers. One of the highlights of the Foundation's annual banquet is when the new SPS Teacher of the Year is announced. There are 5 finalists for this award each year, and this past year there were over 220 nominees. 5 teachers were selected as finalists: Shannon Bossing from Harrison Elementary, Betsy Canella from Kickapoo High School, Armando Johnson from Central High School, Carrie Sykes from Wanda Gray Elementary, and Michelle Slaminski from Sequoia Elementary. Slaminski, Sequoia. And on April 29th, in an unconventional way, live via Zoom, Central High School's Armando Johnson was named the 2021 SPS Teacher of the Year. I'm excited to have Armando join me tonight via Zoom. Hi Armando, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing all right. Looks like you're overlooking Springfield Lake.
Yeah, if you would like to call my imaginary lake Springfield Lake, that's what I'll call it.
So, Armando, I'm fascinated with your career. Could you give everyone just kind of a brief overview of kind of your career generally?
Okay, but first you have to, I am in a room where the lights keep cutting off because it does not recognize, one, my beautiful voice. And I know you might have noticed that my accent's changed because during all of this time, I lost my accent, my English accent. I began grunting like a caveman. So I had to get an app so I could relearn the English language, but no one told me that it was bloody English. So I'm learning English again. About my career, I started out as I was a drill sergeant in a boot camp prison. I was a really mean guy. I used to yell at a lot of young men trying to change lives, and somehow I started teaching. And from teaching, I coached basketball, and everything has evolved into where I am now. I'm no longer a mean guy. I'm a big, cute teddy bear. And I work to try to change as many lives as I can every day.
Yeah, and how do you do that? How do you go about changing lives? What are your philosophies?
Well, one of the main things I try to focus on is being the person who's there for kids at those pivotal moments in their lives. Because when I look back on when I was younger, there weren't many guiding role models out there. And I just got lucky. People always ask me, like, how did you do all of this? A lot of it was just luck. I just was in the right place at the right time, and things just worked out for me. Sports had a lot to do with the success of it all because it kept me out of trouble. But I always want to be that person, when a kid is in a situation where they need a guiding adult, I always want to put myself intentionally in that position. And at our school, it's kind of easy to do because you're sponsoring different clubs, you're involved in different activities with students, and then you have them in your class. So you can note that, and you'll see which kids need help. Then I thought of something even better a couple of years ago because I was thinking about the cycle. Where do the kids come from? What if somebody was able to go and start talking to them and developing a relationship with them in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th on up? What if somebody was already there for them back then? And I could only imagine how many kids you could change or even just help. Because a lot of people, all they need is just that one push or that one steering in the right direction, and the rest is history. And I kind of look at, that's my story. I come from a different world. I'm one of 11 children, single parent home, and I grew up in situations where being without a home from time to time, living in a house with no electricity for an entire summer, basically by myself in the 7th grade. And I couldn't even imagine if it was somebody like me who was there to help me. I just got lucky.
Yeah. A lot of people go through situations like that, but they don't then decide to dedicate their life to helping other people in the same situation, but it sounds like you have.
Oh, that's exactly what I did. When you go and when you watch kids fail and you start thinking, I wonder what I could have done differently to make sure that didn't happen, and it all goes back to, my upbringing. My mom was always that kind of person. She took in 2 or 3 children who were not her own. When there was a woman who went to jail, and she took her daughter when she was an infant, and she grew up with us, and she was always doing those kinds of things. And that has an effect on, us, her children, watching her do this, because she's already got a house full of kids in an apartment. And then all of a sudden she's taking in someone else's child. And when I think of, those are just principles that I learned from my mother. God rest her soul.
Yeah, that's incredible. And then, so you teach Spanish, but then also American Sign Language as well. How does that work?
I came up with this crazy idea a couple of years ago because we use total physical response as something that we use when we're teaching second languages. And one day I started thinking, what if you use that to teach Spanish, and then you could also, teach them the American Sign Language, so when they leave your class, they'll be able to do a little bit of both. And the cool part is I've actually got to see that come to fruition with some of the kids who took my class, and they went on and took sign language when they went to college. And then I had kids who have hearing impaired or deaf or hard of hearing people in their family and friends, and they come to school and they tell me about being able to do those things. Now I can communicate better. I feel a lot more confident being able to do that with my siblings or with my aunt or my uncle.
Yeah. So what is your, you have an incredible story. You have an incredible story from childhood and how you've turned it into what it is today, and you're continuing that story. What's your encouragement for teachers going or having started this kind of odd school year? What's your encouragement?
Be intentional. Everybody should be intentional. Just think because we're in a situation where there's going to be at times chaos. At times there's going to be we definitely have to show a lot of grace. But I say be intentional, because we know we're going to see where pitfalls happen. And then as teachers, we're going to be the leaders who we have to step up and go ahead and fill in those blanks or fill in those gaps. Like it'll be the other day, we had some students who don't speak English. And I knew there were two brothers, and I wanted to make sure I found out that there was no contact with their family. So I wanted to make sure I contacted them. And then we had a graduate who I watched her grow up down these hallways, and I knew her family, and I made sure I got in contact with them so she could get the proper information so that she would walk. And those are those little things, just being intentional because as teachers, we notice these things. We see kids in our classrooms, and when we get those opportunities, my advice is just to be intentional. Go out and fill in that gap and help that kid out, because it's that whole idea. If you fill in that, you help them that one time, you guide them that one time, it could really make a big difference in their lives.
Yeah, well, those are great words, and truly, it's you deserve the award, and we appreciate you being an inspiration to kids, and then also to the teachers and the community at large as well. I have a note. Someone has put up a note, but it's too dark for me to read it. Can you pass me the note? This says, ask him about being named Regional Teacher of the Year and what is next. Hey, Armando, will you tell me about Regional Teacher of the Year and what is next?
Well, Regional Teacher of the Year, I guess they choose 34, 35 different teachers from over the state, and I was named one of our 3 representatives from the Southwest region. And all of this stuff to me is just like, it's overwhelming, but it's happy. Not overwhelming like scary, but it's like somebody like me coming from where I came from to even win anything like that. It's just, Teacher of the Year within the district, and then to move on to regionals, and now competing to become one of the finalists for Missouri State, the Teacher of the Year. It's just something that is above, and I would never have imagined it any days of my life. Only thing I've accomplished small things, like I managed to break the frogs at Silver Dollar City trying to ride them with my nephew. Those are the things that I win. I win those kind of awards. I'm not used to winning Teacher of the Year. I get little victories like that.
Well, you got both now, and you have just a beautiful home overlooking the water.
Yes, that imaginary virtual vacation that I take every time. I have 5,000 different backgrounds. I sit around and collect them. So if I want that vibe, I'll change it up a little bit.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your vibe, Armando, and thanks for the interview, and thanks for what you do in the community.
Thank you. Go Bulldogs, go Springfield.
We did it, good job. Hey, it's been great to get to know more about some of the amazing teachers in Springfield Public Schools. A special thanks to Courtney and Armando for representing us so well. The Foundation for Springfield Public Schools will continue the celebrations throughout the week as they recognize Springfield Public Schools staff and programs, as well as community partners and donors through his Advocate for Education and Corporate Partner of the Year awards. Throughout the week, stay tuned to the Foundation's social media and follow them at Foundation4SPS, or visit www.supportsps.org to learn how you can help support students of Springfield Public Schools. You don't need the www. A few exciting events the Foundation has coming up. Gallons for Growth on September 9th. Give Back to School Day on September 17th. And for teachers, Back to School Grant Day will be September 24th. Now, just because our program has come to an end doesn't mean the fun has to stop. Head on over to the Foundation's virtual auction where you can get things like these, or this, or this. It goes till 9. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. All right, that's the event. Thanks for joining us. For me, Jeff Houghton, and teleprompter man, goodbye.